Dear Reddit, what is your all-time most embarrassing moment?
Was on an airplane years ago with my girlfriend and her parents. My girlfriend couldn't get a seat next to me and sat directly behind me. During the flight, I thought I would surprise her and reached my hand back onto her knee. Slowly, I kept extending it up her thigh until I heard giggling. Looked behind through the seats and saw that my hand was on the leg of the guy next to her. He saw my face and said, "I just wanted to see how far you'd go." Of course, my girlfriend was in on it and started laughing along with the rest of the row. Was so embarrassed. I was at an NFL game, and something I had ate earlier had just wrecked my stomach and left me with horrible gas, like the kind which clears a room, it is so bad. I was walking up the stairs to my seat mid-game and really had to let one rip. Right then the crowd cheered, and I thought the moment was right. What I didn't realize is that my ass was at the same level as a woman sitting in her seat on the aisle, and I literally farted right in her ear. I looked back at her as she looked at me with shock and disgust. I quickly turned away and climbed the stairs as fast as I could and blended into the crowd. I still think about her time to time, and how horrible that must have truly been for her, and just cringe at what an idiot I was. I had a great day at a water park or outdoor pool, and towards the afternoon a woman came up to me and whispered in my ear that I have a problem with my swimsuit. I reached behind and noticed a huge gap. The fabric was torn right in the middle, and you could see my white, untanned ass crack. I was running around like this all day and no one said anything. It could have torn later in the day. That's the hope anyway. That's true, but I suspected a specific moment where it happened. It's interesting how my mind went wild after I found out. On the other hand, I was still kind of happy because I would have paid for the day ticket for nothing if I left after a short time. Recently went on a vacation with some friends plus a mutual friend who I don't know that well. Him and I took the pull-out couches, and his was right next to the bathroom. Later one night, when we were all walking around away from our hotel, I got the stomach rumbles. Then the nausea hit. I have never felt so sick in my life. It felt like someone was grabbing my insides and twisting them. The second we got back to our hotel, I made a beeline for the bathroom. Through that paper-thin wall, this guy I barely knew heard me shit pure liquid out of my ass, complete with loud, wet farts, cry, and vomit in a trash can in front of me. I spent the rest of the night shivering in bed and making runs to the bathroom. I hit the "been married for a decade" barrier with them in a single night. Food poisoning is a bitch. In high school, the homecoming dance was coming up. I happened to confide that I had a crush on a popular girl to another girl in my math class. Unbeknownst to me, they were very good friends, and this girl offered to put in a good word for me. The next day she told me my crush would totally say yes if I asked her. So in between periods, I found my crush in the hallway, asked her to homecoming, and she said yes. Booyah. Well, homecoming is on Saturday. Today is Thursday. My crush, her friend, and I go to lunch together, and I offer to pay in the hopes that will make her like me even more. Yes, I was bad at this. She tells me she wants 2 bags of chips, burger and fries, and a small carton of chocolate milk. No problem. I go to the cafeteria and get those items like a boss. For some reason, I decide to jog over to her even though that really only shaves off like 10 seconds from my trip. I have 2 bags of chips in my mouth, one hand with a burger and fries, the other hand with a carton of chocolate milk. The girls are sitting in the common area. The common area is carpeted, adjacent to the cafeteria, which has a tile floor. These rooms are separated by a relatively small metal line on the floor. As I meet that line, my left foot catches on the metal. No problem, I have another foot. I will just swing that foot forward real quick and save this. Nope, the other foot also catches. As I fall straight forward, I instinctively try to catch myself with my hands. Well, one hand has chocolate milk in it, which promptly bursts, sending chocolate milk in every direction. My other hand didn't help me either, slips on the burger in the bag and the fries go all over the place. The last thing to break my fall is my own face. The face with 2 bags of Lay's potato chips in my mouth. You know the jokes about Lay's chips being full of air? They are true. As my face collided with the ground, both the bags of chips exploded at the same time. It sounded like a gunshot. Somehow, one of my shoes flew off. I tried to melt into the floor and fade out of existence for a moment, then peeled my chocolate milk and chip-soaked face off the ground. This happened at the meeting point of the common room and the cafeteria, so everyone in both rooms either saw or heard this fiasco and looked over. About 100 students. It's deadly silent for another couple seconds, and then the laughter. Dear God, the laughter. It was like a jet engine. Every person there was laughing the hardest they have ever laughed in their whole lives. I saw the janitor doubled over laughing, bracing himself with a mop handle. A teacher was trying to walk over to help me, but she stopped every couple feet to use her whole body to laugh at me. All of this happens not 10 feet away from the table in which my crush and her friends are sitting. Everyone is having a great laugh, but my crush has the greatest laugh of all. She has fallen to the ground, with one hand bracing herself on her knees. The other hand is clutched at her ribs as she laughs so hard that no sound comes out, wheezing like an asthmatic dolphin. There is no recovery from this. I walked to the bathroom to clean myself up. The teacher could only manage to hand me my shoe along the way and continue laughing. In the bathroom, the laughter didn't die down at all for what seemed like an eternity. When the bell rang, I was still in the bathroom and people were still laughing. While I spent the whole day wallowing in easily the most embarrassing moment of my life, I thought, well, maybe I'm the funny guy now and she will like that. The next morning, I see my crush before class and she walks up to me. She says, "So homecoming is tomorrow." Eager to totally not talk about the shit show yesterday, I just excitedly say, yes it is. She then delivers a crisp, "So this guy that I actually like asked me to go to the dance, so I'm going to go with him." To which I replied, "Ah, yeah, that makes sense." I totally did not go in the bathroom and cry after that. I hit face first into a streetlight lamppost because I was staring at a beautiful girl walking towards a direction where I am coming from. It was in front of the main gate of our university. Hundreds of students saw it. My friends laughed hard as hell. I was on a date and we decided to go to sushi, one of those decently affordable but kinda sketchy ones. I was really craving Korean short ribs because that shit is the best. Lo and behold, the sushi restaurant had it on the menu. Fantastic! I ate it, it was delicious. But on the bus ride home, my tummy started to feel a little rumbly. No big deal, we would be home in 20. Well, over the course of that bus ride, it turned into a grave situation. Water at the floodgates kind of thing. But I was off the bus now, and we started our 5-minute walk home. I made it about 40 steps. It all started pouring out. Date was next to me, who was aware off my rumbly tum-tums, and I just said, "Oh no, it's happening." The only thing that saved me was there was an area off the side where it was dark and no one would see me. I hid until my date got back with a pair of pants. I left the shit pants behind. I'm really sorry to whoever found that. I made him swear on his mom's grave that he would never tell anyone. We broke up, and to this day, I still wonder if he kept his promise. I don't know if it was more cringeworthy than embarrassing, but thinking back, I definitely grimace. I was in kindergarten and was playing in the sandbox at recess one day with my friend. We were making a sandcastle, but didn't have any sand that was wet enough to form a solid structure. I had been holding my pee for a while, and being 5 years old, I didn't want to stop playing, so I let it out while I was sitting and promptly let my friend know that I had magically found some wet sand that we could build with. And no one was the wiser.
We built a damn good castle. Sorry, Matthew.
In middle school, I got in trouble for spitting on the floor, and to get out of it, I pretended to be retarded. I was 13 years old, paid this kid in my class $10 to tell this girl also in my class that I like her and if she would go out with me. The stupid motherfucker told her that I paid him, and she never confronted me about it until 8th grade graduation a few months later. Not me, but a mate. He was out on a first date. According to him, on his first mouthful of food, some of it hit the back of his throat and he coughed. A piece of food flew out and landed on his date's food. Apparently, she didn't see the funny side. If memory serves correctly, she didn't eat any of her food. I went to a small school, about 50 kids per grade, 2 classes per grade. I didn't get along very well with a lot of the kids there. I did not get along with the popular guy in school. But I had my small group of friends. However, there were not many girls at our school, and I didn't socialize with any of them that were worth talking to. That changed when a new girl came to our school in 6th grade. Over the first few months of school, we became friends, and I got her number to talk to her outside of school. Things are going great, and I end up asking her out, and she said yes. Word started getting around that we were dating, like the next day, and the popular guy in school informed me that I was too much of a loser to be dating her and that he was going to get her to go out with him instead. He was not interested in her prior to me asking her out. Later that week, a kid in our class was having a birthday party at his house, and everyone in school was invited. I didn't like the kid, so I planned on not going. I asked my new girlfriend if she was going to go, and she said she wasn't going either, so we planned to talk on the phone that night. She called me later that night to chat. I don't remember the whole conversation, but I do remember her asking questions on why I liked her, what I liked about her, why I asked her out, etc. At some point, she informed me that she didn't want to go out with me anymore. She was going to go out with the popular guy in school. Right then, I heard the laughter of practically everyone in our class, but most of all, I could hear the obnoxious laughter of the popular guy in school. She had called me from the party, with our whole class listening to the call, to ask me why I liked her, just to let me know she was going to date the popular kid instead of me. I've had a lot of embarrassing moments in life, but nothing quite compares to that. I still think of it when I walk into the offices at work. Usually when I arrive, there's nobody there, and I go ahead and do my thing. Walked into work, music blasting out of my earbuds, doing the footloose dance, to do a swirl and turn around, to see a full conference room of people just staring at me for a solid 10 seconds. Did not know there was an early meeting that day. Thank you for watching. If you've ever had a moment like this, share your story in the comments.